Today we're going ahead and deglazing these rotors, and then we're going to install the calipers. So if you're here for deglazing, let's do that first. I've heard you can use whatever grit sandpaper you want, fine or coarse. I tried to start it with 400 and didn't really do a whole lot. These are they're really bad, and there's something on them. Look how dirty they are. So I guess we're gonna do it with 100 grit, and basically just get in there and rub it. I'll start in one spot, see how I get it. You can jack the bike up a little bit or use a center stand on the front, which I think I have, but not handy. So we'll just go around manually. You can spin it and get it going. They also say you can use a Scotch-Brite pad, but mine look pretty bad, so we'll see what the what the 100 can do for it. And then after that, clean it up with brake cleaner and a rag, get all that dirt off, and you're good to go. So we're gonna start with deglazing the front brake rotors here, and we have 2 to do, so make sure you do both sides, don't forget. I spent a couple minutes on this with the 100 grit sandpaper, just kind of going at it. It is steel, so you can kind of rip at it and not worry too much, I guess. But you can see where the pad runs. So the pad has already worked its way into the rotor. You can see all these grooves, that's probably dirt and debris stuck between the pad and the rotor. And it just cuts a little groove in there, but hopefully we're not worried about that. I don't think you can really cut down brake rotors for bikes that much. They're not that thick, and they'll start heating up if you start taking metal away. I'm not even sure if it's possible to do. So anyway, I'm just gonna go with that, but you can see where the pad runs. There's a little lip there, and it's not a deep groove, but it's there. So you can see where it kind of runs there to there. And look at all the dirt that came off just with rubbing it down with 100 grit. I kind of spun it to show you where we're at. And I gotta do the inside too, because there is a pad that runs there. You can see on this side, stopped right there. So I'm just kind of sanding it by hand. You can do this with a machine, but I figured I don't know what I'm doing, so we're gonna start with this. And then we're gonna go ahead and clean it once the 100 grit's done. And you could probably go take a lot of it off with 100, then move to, I don't know, if you want to polish it, you can go all crazy, but we just want to get it deglazed and move on. Heats up your sandpaper pretty quick. So work smarter, not harder. See if I can show you this. There's a little nib right here. I'm gonna try and sand that smooth, at least a little better. I don't know what it is, but definitely an imperfection that I'd rather not cut into my pads. So try and sand that smooth too. Finally decided to go the easy route. I just lifted the front end. I am on the center stand. Kickstand's down, which is doing nothing, but I just lifted a little bit, just enough to get the wheel off the ground. So now I'll just run this around, use my red Scotch-Brite, hold that right in here around both sides, and basically just run it like this. Maybe it'll clean up some of my sand lines from the 100, and then that's how we're gonna clean it too. There we go. Got them all prettied up with the Scotch-Brite. I know, you're all gonna tell me I should clean everything out while I'm here. Well, you're right about that. But remember, I wasn't gonna save this bike. This was a parts bike. But it came to life, and here we are. Now, because I don't really want to go spraying brake cleaner all over my wheel, gotta spray it on there. And I'll do the same. Hold it on here and spin it. Spin it till it's clean. Ugh. Looking good. Now we'll do the other side. That's it for cleaning the brake rotors. You can see how nice and clean they are now. All that dirt we got off of them. A lot of it got sanded off, but now we're cleaning them up. Cleaned them up. If you want to stick around, I'll show you what I did to clean the brake pads themselves. But basically, I just took sandpaper over those two and cleaned them up. So now we're ready to put these back on. Tune in for the next video. I won't make you watch through this if you're here for the caliper install, but she's looking pretty good. Maybe she'll stop better now. Or like, the last time I took her out, she definitely stopped better. She was all locked up. So follow along for another test ride on this bike, 83 Shadow. But yeah, she was all locked up, so that's why I cleaned these up and deglazed them. And now I have a couple other bikes I probably should clean up and deglaze also. Even though I rebuilt everything on them, they still don't stop great. So this will be worth your weight in gold if it stops better. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Tune in, and we'll install these calipers. Catch you later. Get out and ride. Cleaned up all the brake pads. All right, having all these guys cleaned up, they look beautiful. My goodness. Tell you what, they were filthy. I had to use brake cleaner to cut through the filth. Now they look really good. So we're gonna etch out this little slot, get any dirt out that's stuck in them. This one's the worst. See, you can hardly see that, but we'll take a little screwdriver and actually, it'd be cool to match these up, see which ones. I'm gonna pick my favorite ones. I'm gonna take sandpaper over this surface and make sure they're not glazed. I don't know which ones I had on when this problem happened, but yeah, we're gonna pick the 4 best ones, and I can install them on the calipers. Cleaned out the groove. Now we're just gonna sandpaper over the surface. I don't know if it's working. What is this, 100? Yep. Wow, it's hard to do it just sitting on there, but grab some sandpaper and just go over the edge.